Okay, this is a piece of oak burl. I've got two pieces here. You can see I'm trying to make it basically a rectangle. I'm a little out of square. I think it's 4 3/8 by 5, but that's close. I could chop it off. And these two end pieces are what I'm going to use to make the 8mm plastic stay square pretty much. I'll try and put it tight to them, and these will give me something to screw to on either the top or the bottom. Epoxy always is a challenge. My intent to make this square is to take this little brad and nail in here and here, because this is the area I'll cut off or pull the nail out, whatever. And so I'll do 4 here and 4 at this end, and that will hopefully do what I need to do. Obviously, they need to be a little bit longer on this end. Well, I had to adjust my thinking. I hadn't really thought about the height of my pressure pot, and I had to cut an inch off of the top of this to make it so that when it went in the pressure pot, it wasn't right against the top. It actually fit with the pressure pot closed, but it was so close to the top that I probably wouldn't have room for plastic to come up, and I really want to fill this all the way up to the very top, so I need to have some room. So I had to shorten it, so I chopped a little bit off of this board here at the back end, and we'll see what happens. I think it'll still turn out pretty good. So obviously I jumped right to it here, and this is a portion of that section you saw on the previous page. I had a lot of trouble with leaks, and so I ended up splitting this, and I'm going to make something out of the other half when I finally get it filled correctly. The other thing that's a little different is I didn't explain it or talk about it here, but if you look carefully, you'll see copper nails that are being machined off in this, and luckily they were copper, and so you can machine those with your carbide tools, because I wouldn't have been able to pull them out. They were embedded in epoxy, and I would have had to done a lot of work. And the shape of this was not very square in the end, and so it was going to be hard to cut off the corners. So I ended up just machining everything. And that's a piece of cedar on the left that you'll see in the end, that's the bottom of the vase. So on the right, I drilled in a place to put it's got the woodworm screw in, and that's how it's being held here. Again, you can see the slow-mo time-lapse filming technique that keeps the object relatively still, and every frame is clear. There's no blur, other than focus if I get too close or something. And I'm using the carbide, round and square carbide bits through most of this. Some places you'll see me using something else, a few things different, but like right there is a swept back bowl gouge. Epoxy is just kind of a nuisance, and carbide works relatively well with it. But I'm making a standard vase shape here. And I'll put a mortise on the left and mount that to do the hollowing. So here, there were some voids in it, and the soft wood was very soft. So I ended up, when I got done machining it, I filled all the voids with either sawdust or coffee grounds and sawdust or whatever, and then CA glue. And then I went over the whole surface, as you can see, to harden up the soft wood. And then I did various sandpaper from
probably 80. I might not have used 80, but... And then here I am drilling it out to make it easy to machine the inside. And I don't have any special hollowing tools, so I don't get this quite as thin as I might if I had one. I've actually purchased one now, so I just haven't had a chance to use it. Using a carbide tip there and a 1-inch round scraper. Now here I've turned it around and I drilled a hole in so I can put my wood nickel in, and it was being used to hold. Now I'm just taking off that piece of cedar that was there.
Okay, this is a bowl I made with spalted oak and a blue epoxy. I don't remember exactly the name. The color came as a bonus with the 3-gallon kit of epoxy that I bought. I really like this blue color. I wish I had cleared out more of the inside of the vase so I could see through it better. You can't really see through it. But in any case, it turned out pretty nice. The color of this blue is really pretty fabulous.